Hello and welcome back to the LCS playoffs. Team Liquid are looking at a 3-0 series where every game is 27 minutes long. I've seen it before, but this one is TL on the winning side. It feels like Cloud9, to quote Mark Z on Twitter, you should follow him at @TheMarkZ, said Cloud9 have no foothold in the series. Start over wholesale on the Blues side. And I want to know what that even looks like.
It is possible to scale a cliff with no footholds, but it's very difficult for you. That's why it's a big issue here. And, you know, Team Liquid, yeah, they're looking at that 3-0. It's as close as they can touch it, honestly, because they won on both sides. They won early game both times. Jensen and Santorin have been cold as ice. And if they are outperforming the mid-jungle duo for Cloud9, that has just been the foothold for this entire team, for the history of this team.
Yes.
Going to be very difficult stuff moving forward. Cloud9 are going to have to switch things up here in game number 3. So far, it's looking quite similar. They do ban out Alfari's Gangplank, though.
Yeah, that is one thing that apparently they haven't found a counter pick to. The Jays came in, it didn't matter. Tom Kench removed themselves, which I think maybe they want to first pick Renekton and say, you must pass this line, and Renekton just doesn't get passed. I mean, we'll see if that's actually the look here. I want to see if TL has like, hey, you know what, Sinjao can stay up, screw it.
Thresh still up, and I'm assuming the last ban is in. But you have to decide, do you want to give over the Xin or the Thresh in this case? Blabbert will be very happy to pick up the Xin if they do let it go. It's going down to the wire, and it is left up.
Yeah, Gwen, I think, really has only been played on Cloud9's side. Sinjao is up, but again, Renekton and Thresh are the ones we're looking at here. Now, I will say bot lane and really even support rooms in general haven't been the biggest things.
I would say Thresh plus Aphelios is a really good 1-2 right now for Team Liquid. Super, super strong, robust. Even when Xin tries to come in, you know, Aphelios is one of the few that can actually fight inside of his ultimate if you've got White Gun. Jensen Syndra was quite impressive.
Yep.
But throwing it down as a blind pick is very different from picking it into, well, I guess he got flexed into, but they pretty much had way more data than this.
This is interesting. I want to say Trundle right now is a flex. I think he can work top into a lot of the matchups. He's obviously a solid jungler.
This is for sure jungle.
Okay.
Right now, Trundle is one of the few answers that people are using into Xin. So this to me is 99% jungle for Santorin. You go Red Smite Trundle. It's very similar to previous iterations where there have been Olaf metas, and you take Trundle ultimate, try and pop it on him early, Red Smite, and you can just bite him down that way. People still definitely will prefer Xin. It's just that Trundle is an okay answer into the Xin that people are using right now. So I say that's got to be Santorin right now. Meanwhile, on the flip side here for Cloud9, since the Thresh nor the Aphelios was picked up, I just don't see a reason not to go for it. The only thing is sometimes Aphelios going to have a hard time for stuff like Syndra and Trundle Pillar, because a Pillar sets you up for very difficult dodges on Syndra, and you basically have to either flash or have a lantern right next to you.
Interesting to see what has come through. The fact that Cloud9 are getting 3 for 3 of just top-tier meta champions. Thresh and Sinjao are the 1 and 2 most picked and banned champions across top leagues. Varus is right up there as, I think, the most seen bot laner as well. And it's like, we like our Trundle matchup, and we really think Syndra's going to win lane no matter what. So, you know, respect where it's due. TL clearly have their idea of how the comp plays out, and there's Renekton that, okay, also top 5 champ and pro, but TL are back to like, here's lane dominance, what you got?
And they've got 2 more bans to throw at Fudge on top side. So Gwen's already taken out. Tom Kench is taken out on top side. Gnar being taken out is really the last one that I'm super cautious about for a first pick Renekton here throwing it down. So Team Liquid, not only have they had such great success playing topside focus, you know, Core JJ, many roams up there, Santorin has been able to play up there, but throwing down the Renekton and being able to protect Renekton with multiple bans for topside here seems like a very strong position of power for them.
Yeah, Zig's off the table. Now, of course, they don't really need magic damage, but again, it's someone who just is able to reach back line. They're saying Gnar's like the Renekton answer. Again, Trundle, we have seen it can be good top lane into Renekton, and obviously that's taken off just by the jungle pick.
Also, I like the Ziggs ban because the wave clear can get super annoying if you are the team with Xin and Varus, you're looking at a lot of early game push, transitioning into some poke at towers and wanting to move forward quickly. And that wave clear, if they've got both Syndra and Ziggs, can be annoying to push against and close games out.
Okay. Yep. No ranged top laners allowed for you. No lane bullying. Renekton must be able to win lane. This has been the path forward for Team Liquid. Win lane, dominate the game. Nautilus off the table again is Cloud9's default ban. They have let Cortez get Leona every single game this series. Thresh, of course, can feel pretty good about the matchup overall, but just of note that he doesn't have to change his roles really ever.
Wonder what we do off Nautilus ban on bottom side here for Team Liquid. Just another defensive opening with both Trundle and Braum actually makes Zin's life terrible. So you can see the thought process from Team Liquid in letting Zin through. Yes, it's almost perma-banned, but if you construct your team fight to have Trundle ultimate on him and Braum counter engage, that does make it, difficult for him later on. Still a very powerful jungler, especially for a lot of early game gank potential. Definitely one of the reasons why he's so highly prized. The Viego is picked up here once again. This time on the side for Cloud9. I'd be surprised if it wasn't in the hand of Perks, though.
Oh.
Doesn't look like it's going to be, so Rise answer into the Syndra instead.
Yeah.
They want to play off some strong early game and then transition into having Rise split push later when you're facing Team Liquid, who say, hey, we're constructing our team fight as 5-on-5. We need to have a split push option for Cloud9 that gives them an out for later into the game so they aren't completely tunnel visioned. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, they just go straight along with the plan as usual. Freak, guess what? If we construct our team fight for 5-on-5, Jinx is a great one to have. We've got really strong counter engage. Their objective is to kill a frontline member. Their objective is not ever to dive. It is to turn on whoever's flanking them or kill any frontline member that comes in close range. Just take that reset and run.
Okay, so a lot of AD carries still left up. Aphelios, for example, pretty highly prized, but no, goes for the Jinx, right? Get that first kill in the reset. As you mentioned, Trundle at someone, Cinder ult them, and lock him down. And I'm curious to see how the rest of this game goes out. Cloud9, I actually wouldn't have minded just a hard tank at the top lane, like an Orin or a Dr. Mundo, and just kind of sit there and survive the Mundo, survive the Renekton. But as we saw, it did not work that well in game one, and Alphari still had priority. So trying to match him with the Viego, we'll see if he can do it. As Rise is left up, that was one of the bans that TL sent through in game two. Was denied that pick, now has it for game three. We'll now see if Perks can have some pressure up against the mid Syndra, because it's now do or die. It's reverse sweep or get sent to the lower bracket.
For me, Blabber has to have a huge game this game, or Cloud9 are out of this series. He has to have a big impact on this Sin early on. Maybe you can get a gank on the Renekton and get the Viego a lead, because if you don't, it will be Team Liquid with winning lane for top side. Syndra middle, very easy to wave clear, to keep sustained even if he's not pushing. And it sets up into the classic older style of Team Liquid for easy 5-on-5s and really amazing scaling for them. So if Blabber does not take off in a rocket ship here on this Zin, Cloud9 are going to be in some deep trouble.
Well, we'll see what they can do. Hold on, we've got the chant at the level 1 scuffle as they're going to play for wards and back off. Want to point out the fact that the Xin Zhao of Blabber is his highest win rate jungler with more than 2 games across the entire year. He is 5-1 on it. He has been good at converting this champion into wins, and so Cloud9 are going to hope that indeed happens as they set up their draft to get him that jungle pick. And as Little One settles down, keep in mind that next week's playoff have 4 full days of games. As you watch the playoff action, you can catch that all starting on Thursday. So going to be some extra days. Keep that in mind.
Minions have spawned.
Yes, sir. Meanwhile, this or that on Thursday, I'll be there.
Good.
Maybe you will? Huh?
I don't know.
Extend an invitation?
Okay, if you want me, I'm happy to be there. Sounds great.
Hide and seek with Gobi and Freak.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back. Game 3 here, though, the pivotal one. Can Cloud9 make a reverse sweep? They are always obsessed with reverse sweep curses. Can they do a counter curse on themselves?
All right, well, real quick, though, as we get in the laning phase, we've got a sideline interview with one of the coaches. Let's hear it.
Thank you so much, Freak. I've got Cold standing on by. It has been a surprise to audiences to see Team Liquid going away from this more patient play into some aggro styles right in the early game. What were you doing to prepare for your drafts here in playoffs?
Well, be prepared.
I mean, is there anything in particular, though, that you may have learned from going against Cloud9 at the end of the regular season to make sure that you twisted the fate this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I checked out how they were losing their games, and I think if you do that, you will see why they lose their games. If you attack them first, they usually struggle. So,
trying to keep Cloud9 from keeping the game volatile for themselves in their early game. Thank you so much, Cold, for joining me. Back to our first edition Mint Condition casters.
Thank you very much. Do you prefer Froby or first edition Mint Condition? I know
I'm over the first edition thing. I think it's way too long.
Yeah, we're now known as Froby. It's kind of like Prince. We have just changed our name. Please keep up the rest of the internet. I know it changes fickly, but...
I already want to change it again, though, to something that could have a cool Photoshop.
Okay, that sounds good. Hold on, though. There is a stun in mid lane. I have seen this play before. It's a flash Q from Team Liquid's jungler, and yet again it ends in first blood against Perks.
Ice in his veins, freak. Santorin and Jensen. How many times can they just say, we are going to stomp this series? These two have been magnificent for Team Liquid. Once again, Santorin level 3 ganks. He saves his pillar. This is the only thing you need to know about ganking with Trundle. Save your pillar for after their flash. Then you pillar them. Easy chase down. They get the kill. Cloud9 will make it cost you something. Heads up play here from Blabber. Goes off the invade, and they will be able to take away blue, but maybe they get more than that.
Oh, Perks wants to get the Rune Prison. He will be able to get a little bit, but the Wolves are in the way of a death sentence. They won't get much more. It does mean, though, yes, the Wolves are taken. Top crab trade may indeed happen. You see him run over there, knows what camps are up. Can easily see that Blabber invaded on a 16 CS. It goes, okay, what does a 16 CS, clear look like for Xin Zhao? It's no Raptors, no Krugs, and these camps are up. And Fudge, by the way, once again, beset. Alfari has damage, flash stun, double auto! Wow! Huge fight. Fudge gets the kill, traded back, though.
I like it, going for the fireworks, freak. They're down 2-0 in this series, so Fudge is gonna flash in, make that kill credit count.
Touche, and outlanding a Renekton early on. 6 CS lead as the recalls can come back. Watch it again.
All right, so he's got a bigger minion wave built up, pushing inside the mist too, so he's got the extra attack speed. Definitely stacks up the Conqueror very quickly. After Alfari has no more rage left, though, very nice with his W flash there. Lands it point blank, and then the auto right afterwards to make sure he gets it, even though Alfari flashes, and the turret shot is going to guarantee death.
If you hadn't flashed on the turret, that was a kill and a walk away, because Triumph will make you live through that one. So very tight one there, but it works out in the end. And as we get back in the lane, we got to look at what the lane looks like. Oh yeah, there's like 10 extra CS up for Fudge, so he's going to come away with this with more gold and XP.
That's why it's always beneficial for you to go for those flash trades if you know that you're going to get the outplay and you're going to get that kill, if you can get your auto off, because on the pushing wave, just be grouped up right at the tower, so when you both respawn, going to bounce back a bit, and even more minions for him to pick up here.
Yep. Not hard to throw out the Q and get some last hits. Blabber and Santorin on the way up. Is it going to be enough? Oh! Doesn't quite get into that one, but they want to fight away from the turret to make Santorin pull aggro. They get the knockup, but he's level 6. Big heal comes across. Second W lands. They're going to kill him. Almost. Fudge isn't 6. So much damage to the Blabber, but they can't get the rest of the damage across. Fudge nearly gets it. No! Fudge does not factor in the damage and just ints away a death.
Oh no, the Fudge factor was miscalculated. Only level 5, not able to ult. You could tell he just wanted that one so bad. Could see the comeback in his eyes, but he walks through the meat grinder.
Fudge was able to save TP, I believe, and gets himself back on the map. He's gonna take up the mid lane wave as Perks clears this one out. End of the day, though, it is Team Liquid ahead ever so slightly in the early game. Really close margins, but again, it's Team Liquid getting the better of it.
Oh, that is tragic for the hands of Cloud9. You know, it's just so demoralizing when you're down in a series like this and you have yet another early game go poorly, especially since you're the ones that invested so heavily in the Xin. So, double level 5s there on top side. If they had a little bit more experience to be able to get level 6, look at that one minion, still not enough. So Fudge is level 5. He's just walking for it. He must have been so insanely close. If you're checking Pro View, I literally bet it's one more minion, and he's level 6, and he can go in, get a reset off that, Dream Viego play. But maybe they get it round 2.
Rune Prison should guarantee Xin Zhao's combo. Jumps in, goes for the knockup. After that one lands, you land the W. The slow's going to be too much, and they get the shutdown. They knew Alfari had no ulti, knew he had no flash, knew it was guaranteed to play it right. Well done. And now, for the first time in a long time, more than an hour, I think, Cloud9 have a gold lead.
Such a necessary play there for Cloud9, both for the morale, but also the game state. This now positions Rise on top side here for Perkz to push in once again. Easy pickup for the minions in mid lane there for Fudge. They need to be able to transition this into a strong Rise. Perkz critically gets that actual kill credit, so you get your Sork shoes, you get your early magic penetration. If they can transition this game into side lane pressure from him on the Rise, that is their one point of power they can try and use to pull Team Liquid across the map and divert them from setting up this very easy 5-on-5 front-to-back team fighting that Team Liquid wants to use to close out the entire series. That's the one opening for Cloud9. Their hopes of extending the possibility of a reverse sweep.
See if they can make it one happen. Bot lane is doing okay. Tactical has got to Vamp Scepter, though, which is very important. I think it's really tough to lane against the tier Varus. You're going to take poke pretty consistently. Even if your mechanics are great, you will take them occasionally. And you don't want to be at half. You're just going to get, flashed on, and you'll die from that point in time. So Tactical, early Vamp, going Shield Bow to survive the lane. Yeah, especially with your opponents having Xin Rise combination and Perkz getting that early kill. Perkz is always looking for roams, just as a player, but especially with this champion, especially with the comp they're facing. Rise now should be pushing, looking for all these possible roams. He's got Flash and Ultimate available. You want to use mid priority to affect your side lanes in these scenarios for C9. So Perkz gets the blue so that he has plenty of mana, can easily deal with the wave, and then look for this counter on Team Liquid through the river. Vulcan. Hook. They've got a lantern, but they've got a 2v4. That might not be enough damage as Blabber is just stuck with a pillar in his face. The flash is far too late as Tactical finds the kill. And now in topside, Fudge and Alfari trade blows, and Alfari gets the better of it.
Core JJ is with him quicker. A couple extra steps on that support roam. Vulcan was a bit down towards mid lane, so Cloud9 outnumbered, outpositioned. They couldn't get Blabber out of the river. He goes down. It is Team Liquid once again, Freak, on the precipice of dominating another early game. If they can get this Rift Herald. Cloud9, though, trying to fight them off of it. Blabber's running from base.
They're going to find a slow onto Sven. They're not going to find much more. The lantern's there just for good measure. Smite secures it. Is there even a play to be had? No, Team Liquid grab the Herald easily and walk out clean.
Another first Rift Herald for Team Liquid. Even with Cloud9 getting some of those early kills, getting some early gold. Now, the Rift Herald in hand for TL is going to be very big. Core JJ sticking around to try and help Jensen figure out this mid wave as everybody tries to reset back to original positions. Big minion wave for Tactical to catch there on the Jinx. And that's an opportunity for Cloud9. Once again, maybe they can go for a possible dive. Level 6 on Varus.
TP to make sure the minions don't go away, so it'll hold aggro. Vulcan to start it up with the Flay. Hook is going to look, not going to get it as the flash gets away. Vulcan should die to the turret. It's an execute. It does not matter. They get the kill shut down, and Perkz is the richest man on the Rift.
And he has to be. He's always got his eyes on the side lane plays. You have to hear for Perkz on the rise. He's making it happen. Teleport down to the big wave. Anytime you see one of those big waves stacked up, it's a new objective. They punish Tactical going for it. Both summoner spells out of the Jinx as well, so that's a repeat opportunity, Freak.
We'll see if they can do it again, because you saw he already tried to predict the flash. Vulcan barely short on that one in the previous. But as the waves are crashed, you can see the first 100 CS is going to be Perkz there. That is the rich man in this game. 2 kills as well. And we'll see now if the mid laner, who had not been stepping up in the first 2 games, doing so now in the third.
Critical time here for them as well. They don't like to let you have any extra breathing room. No. Wait till it gets right down to the wire. Core JJ does get his 1 ward in before taking the blast cone. So even though it is the most annoying Drake with the Ocean Drake landing the slow, still walks it out on Braum. They actually intend for it to be the leash now with the death sentence starting up the Dragon Cloud9. If that recall goes off, they for sure forfeit it.
Yeah, it was TP advantage anyway. Fudge calls out, I don't have TP up for 30. They can assume Alfari already did. So like, look, if we take the fight, we just get Renektoned on. So it is going away, and Team Liquid, not with the gold lead, but with some Dragon pressure. I still favor Cloud9 ever so slightly, but it means that they're on the road now.
Yeah, and remember that they do have the Rift Herald in hand too, so Team Liquid, it's harder to make very effective Rift Herald plays when you don't have the early advantage and you don't have the big roaming presence. So maybe they don't get more than just a couple turret plates out of the Rift Herald, but that's still going to be some money in hand. And I love, again, highlighting Perkz. He keeps making these roam opportunities, looking for something, pushes the minion wave, heads up towards topside, can't quite get it, but that's where Cloud9 have to remain effective.
Nice little play by Core JJ. On the reflex, goes for the jump to the side. You could have put the shield instead. It would have been identical, but choose the W. It looks cooler, arguably. That's up for debate, I guess. Like, is dodging or immuning a skill shot more interesting? What do you think?
I think dodging is cooler.
Okay. Understandable.
It's more stylish.
Typical solo queue player wants to dodge.
True. Exactly. Oh my goodness.
That's topical.
That's too close to home, man. Wasting my time.
Oh my god, I know. People I think overdodge. Oh well, it's fine. Topic for another day as we have the lanes reset back to normal. Top end within 7, mid lane within 0, I guess, to be fair.
So next setup opportunity then, you can see Blabber already trying to get bottom side deeper vision, working with Vulcan, but Team Liquid continue to play off their Renekton pick. They picked Renekton for Alfari, protected it with bans, so really trying to lend extra resources over here to earn money off top side, but it costs you because you rotate it over mid, so Cloud9 get mid push, plus they can come up and try and finish off defense with the Rift Herald. I guess they don't actually deny anything extra unless Alfari gets...
Yeah, they're going to get Blabber for the knockup. They're going to get a lot of CC landed. I don't think there's a way out for Alfari, so... A moment of strength for T on the first 2 games as the attack for Cloud9. It works. They find that kill. Left alone to the bot side, that's okay for Sven. He will not die to a dive. Braum really cannot set these up. And it's not much lost, a single plate only.
Yeah, its biggest credit here is to the C9 bottom lane because Vulcan's like, you know what? We are not going to win this game unless we keep up the roaming pressure. Perkz is doing his part, roaming from mid. I'm going to do my part too. He stays away. Sven says, no problem. I will be able to handle the minions here. Yes, they get 1 turret played on bottom side in payment for Team Liquid, but Cloud9 are willing to pay that price in order to get these achievements for themselves. Only 400 is their gold advantage after being cut down by the Rift Herald activation.
Kobe, I'm happy we have a series. I'm actually just like, you can see,
you're literally
jumping up and down, happy because we have a real series going on. I'm so happy to see it. So now Jensen is under attack. Vulcan landed the flay, but Perkz is like, look, there's minions in the way. I can't get the damage. I'm sorry, but it was a nice roam. But good job. Jensen gets away.
Jensen bobbing and weaving too. One of the most classic attributes that you have associated with this player is fancy footwork. You know, he relies on phase rush, trying to use his move speed, trying to dodge here. You can walk up, you can flay, but without that extra confidence to land for sure, and he's going to be able to walk his way out. No summoner spell blown. It's now a level 11 Syndra with double summoner spells available. This roam is going to be interesting.
They can tell, right? You saw the lantern, then the control and the brush, like, wait a second. No, this would be an invade angle. I know what Core's up to is invade angle. They go around, and now I see Jensen. Now, there are reinforcements. The hook! Just to the side. Couldn't quite predict it. Meanwhile, Core JJ and Santorin have taken over the bottom side. That is a Krug camp stolen. That is wards put down in the jungle.
And a big reason why they're switching their focus now for Team Liquid is because we're about to transition into team fights where Jinx is the priority. So they remove a lot of their extra resources from top side.
That's fancy. That's going to be a root. That's a bunch of damage and a flash as Perkz takes 1 more turret shot. But as Core JJ is here, Jensen stays alive. So a trade of summoners and only a bit of damage on mid.
Yeah, that was a spicy one. All right. They wanted to make a quick play here while the timing was bot focused from Team Liquid. No extra advantage earned, but if he had been able to lock him up there, would have been a pretty big reward. Regardless, the focus from Team Liquid we're about to go over is transitioning to this Jinx, to tactical. You know, the heart of this 5-on-5 has built up the shield bow, building up Zeal here. Probably the Hurricane comes through, and then you just move around as a juggernaut. You're 5. Your Renekton can hold a lane, can have some pressure in a lane, but it's mostly about setting up on those objectives, daring Cloud9 to come 5-on-5 you. You just turn on first target. It's literally easy comms, just hit closest. You have a Trundle ultimate, you've got a Braum. All you need is them to walk into death.
As long as Fudge doesn't find a killer assist first, no resets, you can just hit him. It's not going to be much of a problem. They're going to fight for top Scuttle, top Herald, I should say. Blabber in the front line. When's he going to ult? He has. He's going to get away from Jinx, and they just shut down Core JJ. Well done to the squad. The flash of safety. Sun's still going to land, but they will not get the kill. Time to go back in. Tactical. Drop low, but is not dead. Vulcan, next hook comes up soon. Might find a target. Brings in Blabber on the Lantern, a flash get away from the Flay and every other bit of that slow. But this means that Rift Herald should be claimed. Jensen back in, rooted, shot at, and sniped. Sven's good for the kill. A 2-0 victory for Cloud9 in that team fight.
Can't dodge in Rune Prison. Perks locks him up, and the team knocks him down. Cloud9. Critical timing here, Freak. They're able to get Rift Herald number 2. They get some kills back for themselves. Your hope for a series is still alive. Cloud9 are kicking. Very, very big one here. All right, Roccat flip, the switch replay is going to be another look. It's all about Blabber Xin Zhao ultimate. They don't get the Core JJ knockup with the ultimate, so Blabber has enough time to charge back in and still activate his ult. He doesn't get burst down within it, so he's able to flash away, gain that distance, and then they can actually reset the team fight off of their person advantage. Having taken down Core JJ, you know you can just chase through the jungle, and Jensen gets a little bit cocky here. Wants to move out for some more harass. He gets hit with the W for slow, and that W slow means Perks can move in for the Rune Prison. Easy lineup for Sven there, taking down the kill. A little bit too much confidence in your movement and your dodging there.
Special credit to Sven at the beginning of that fight. His ult landed on Trundle. The easy target was, here's Core JJ, he's in front of me, it's an easy one. Goes to the side, locks out Trundle. I think if he was able to auto Blabber like twice, they get the Xin Zhao kill to get the Jinx reset, and that fight looks different. But he couldn't get in for, 2 autos with Divine Sunder. Like, that's 400 damage. That would have probably been the kill after Cinder came in. So huge target selection there by Sven. I think it really was a difference maker in that fight as well. And so now, FTX gold advantage, 1,300. Rift Herald and bot lane, grow it by another 500.
Just what Cloud9 needed. Turbocharging their comeback efforts. Fudge now, bottom side, is going to try and usher up Shelly for another charge. Secondary turrets are so valuable that not only will they get a ton of damage on mid as well as taking down bottom, the charge gets off here on secondary turret in this bottom lane, and allowing Blabber here to move freely between the jungle does mean easier rotations for Cloud9. They've finally been able to pry open an opportunity.
Here we go. Is it going to be more? 2 dragons, by the way, worth noting, to TL's side. We basically switched positions in this game where the one team has gotten the gold lead, the other's gotten the first 2 Drakes.
Yeah.
Again, I will say you can roughly equate a Drake to a 400 gold across the team lead, so you kind of have the scoreboard here.
It's very interesting this time, though, because the gold lead is so much smaller, and the team that actually has a gold deficit still has a better 5-on-5 setup. So Team Liquid do still, even with a 1.5 gold deficit, have an option for trying to, especially if they can set up first on Dragon, keep those dragons stacking. So that's something that was cut off in all of the previous games. The team with 2 dragons does not get third because there's such a monumental advantage for Team Liquid. But this time around, with Braum Trundle frontline, definitely have the possibility there. Blabber made good use of the Xin Zhao ultimate to split it last time, and Core JJ on Thresh was able to split opportunities and pull in the extra target. But especially with this tower going down, I don't expect Team Liquid to give it up as willingly as we have seen in the past.
I'll just see how they play it. As you can see, 2-1 back in turrets. TL clearly still feel comfortable in a lot of these spots on the map. Perks doing pretty standard Rise things. You start poaching away the jungle camps. You are going to scale off gold better than a Xin Zhao. This is pretty standard pro stuff.
Yeah, I want to see how effectively they can use the split push from Perks, because he is now starting to peak. See if he can actually, I believe he's going to go for a Banshees here. Maybe only worried about possible Cinder stuns, catch him out or something. And if you do have that, feels like very easy split pushing for him. He's got his ultimate, he's got his teleport. That can be such a big, opportunity for Cloud9 to use. Topside tower is going to be the first focus, but both teams are sending a lot of resources there, and Alphari does have teleport to join if Team Liquid make a pick.
Sun's gonna land, but they should. Oh, the pillar's not timed quite right. Able to grit the lantern and get out for now. Volga forces a flash away. How about the rest of that fight? Huge snipe comes through for Sven as well as the ultis come across. Half health on several members. Blabber the front line. When's he gonna ult? It's gonna be just diving in, and the ult might not keep alive. Huge gore drinker though. Follow up for Sven, and a flash to safety. Now Perk's gotta be careful, running around the pillar, getting shot at. Hook's gonna buy some time. Ignite, snipe, gonna hit some damage, but I believe the arrow may have just missed Jensen. Fudge is in. Fudge can't get the ulti off, and Fudge finally finds himself with the kill, but he's not got the assist. He cannot reset, but it doesn't matter. His team's ready to go. Now it is time in. That pillar's gonna be huge. The trophy right in front of Core JJ, and they find 4 kills to 1.
Oh, just when they needed Cloud9 to make the comeback. They kite just enough with the teleport coming in. Fudge arrives. Cloud9 reward will be Baron and Freak. It is happening.
The beginning of the reverse sweep starts with one game, and this one is now looking good.
Oh my goodness. Sven on this Varus is just throwing out bombs after bombs. Yes, he does get hit with the stun, but as you said, Trundle Pillar is a little early, so not during the Dark Passage. If you get it during Dark Passage, you can knock him out of it, then insta-kill. My big surprise was how well Blabber played this offensively. He's very good at playing Olaf and Xin to the brink of destruction, relies on the Gore Drinker heal plus his ultimate to be able to survive that, then flashes back out to the Lantern. Vulcan slipped into the brush while TL were not looking and was able to set up low health on Jensen. Yeah, as you said though, there was no assist from Fudge, so he didn't get to turn into Syndra and get a big stun. Regardless, Perks and Sven do so much damage that they get the kill anyway and allow him to reset off of that one, allowing the Baron plus the Dragon now does get stopped. So the earlier decision point of Team Liquid possibly fighting for Soul Point completely off the table, off the top lane fight. The timing there for Cloud9 means the rewards are more than doubled. They are tripled here.
Yeah, you have to cleanse that one. Tactical's actually dead to QW from Sven. That one has to cleanse it to stay alive. I want to credit one small thing that Perks did in that fight as well. He ulted minions out of the turret so that the dive was easier because you don't have a wave otherwise, and so that actually helped make it a little bit cleaner as well. So there we go. The Red Bull Baron power play has added a couple of turrets in. You've added a dragon in to stop the soul stack in. You're looking really, really good here right now. Yeah, I mean, where's the congratulations, Team Liquid, on advancing?
I saw it. They put it out.
We had it? Okay. No way. Cloud9 goes back from 2-0. Well, they're trying to do it right now. Big front line for Blabber. Pops the ulti. Gills a bunch done. As the turret falls elsewhere across the map. Split push looking good. Ready to push in for top tier 2. They've got a wave. They've still got that Baron as Ven drops turret aggro. This one is gone, and it's going to keep going to the moon. Cloud9. FTX gold advantage 7,800.
Yeah, Sven definitely looking to improve that Varus win rate. He has been so good this game for them. Meanwhile, Perks putting in a lot of work on the rise. He's level 15 now, prepping that split pushing we've been talking about. 8 stacks on the Dark Seal, I believe, as it's pretty small font.
That's 8, yeah, that's 8.
Does transition quite well. Now you can see the entire map as well is just Cloud9 territory. It's gotten dark for Team Liquid. When you give over that much gold to the team that has such an advantage in split pushing, thank you, observers. This is the result. That's why that top lane fight was so critical for Cloud9. Very, very well played by multiple members. Blabber buying so much time, re-entering on the Xin Zhao, playing these front line, leech bruisers basically to the edge is what he has made his name on. The Olaf, the Xin. And it's really coming through clutch. But will it be enough for the series? 8,000 plus FTX gold advantage for Cloud9. Looks like they should be able to return to the siege quite effectively. They have so many split pushing options. They can get every lane pushing and then look for the dive. Team Liquid, they've got still massive possibilities for 5-on-5. If you overdive into a Braum and you get locked up under this turret, yes, there's possibilities that Team Liquid can get their 5-on-5. They can get their reset even from such a massive gold disadvantage. But Cloud9 don't have to walk into that because they do have such good side lane opportunities. just try and push in on top side. You've got 2 minutes left on Baron, 2 minutes left on the next Dragon. And you can just continue to starve out your opponents. You get both jungles now, Freak. Double your jungle income and keep Team Liquid pinned under their towers.
Okay. Let's see the next play as the lead grows ever so slightly off of all the rehits coming in. The items are through now as well. Nice trying the hook on a core JJ. Sidesteps it, gets away from the Sven arrow as well. As now we look for the next play. 6 turrets down means inhibitors is the line. Tactical finally chunked to half, but with shield bow is basically 1 to 2 mini waves away from getting back to full, so not going to be in a lot of pressure just yet. Yep. Good aggressive wards. You're seeing the control wards that Cloud9 use. Make sure that Blabber and Perks are unseen.
And you can tell by the fan movement here from Cloud9. It's kind of standard opening for just keeping your opponents pinned in. They are not going to risk anything at inhibitor towers. They're going to continue to slowly increase the goal rate, mine all of these neutral objectives, transition from lane to lane, keep Team Liquid pinned under their own towers until these bigger neutrals arrive.
Okay, Perk's going to find himself knocked around a bit by a pillar, but it's not really going to matter. There's an aggressive lantern just in case he's got to fight for wards. And there was a control ward kill. There was one small objective TL got, which is now this next ward you put down is not instantly killed.
I like it.
You can get that brush a little bit now.
How small of an objective can we get to? The single ward kill is pretty good. We can get down to like counting each minion because you can get 1 minion kill. You can push out your minions, get artificial minion vision through a lane.
Yep. They're kind of like wards.
Uh-huh.
They're worth a similar amount of gold. They die in a similar number of auto
Every
attacks.
grain of sand counts when you're trying to build a castle, Freak.
I don't think it's actually true. I could take several grains of sand off of the castle and it would look identical.
But the structural integrity is not the same.
True. However, trivially different. You know, as much as you are technically correct, this is one where I'm like, nah. You know, it's not going to matter. It's going to get washed away by the tide regardless.
Okay. Which one took structural engineering?
You did.
Dragon is up. They're going to be able to take
Baron is up too.
They're going to be able to take that one without effort. Team Liquid does have an opportunity at least to set up their own, Baron checking vision, as we call it, in the top side jungle there for themselves. So the work has been laid. They don't want to give it up for free. It's just that they have to deal with the split push from Cloud9 while Baron pressure is being applied. We've been mentioning the Rise split push all game long. Now is when it comes to fruition. Perks, keep them down there. Teleports available, level 17, flash available, ult available, Rise. Then you draw them across the map with your Baron pressure. Just clear out their vision. Perfect setup here from Cloud9.
Once again, getting rid of most of the wards. Sven, as he puts the control ward in the pit, can get rid of all the Baron checking. And now TL hoping they can find some Baron saving, because guess what? Cloud9 get to go for that one pretty soon. There is just a sliver of vision to know that Vulcan walked out, but they don't know much else. There's a blast plant to use. It could always go right into the pit from there. But with 3 showing on the waves, they know it's not Baron being hit just yet. Here comes Realm Warp. Nice chompers and Perks. Yeah, gets a bit of damage. 1100 health left on tactical.
But mid priority. They've got a minion wave. They can just burst this tower down.
This tower looks like it's not long for the world. Will at least drop to half HP, but Alfara's now shown up at tactical. Fighting with Fudge. Flash in, can't find the kill. Locket is in for Core JJ. The chase down not going to be enough. Fudge gets away, but that is double summoners burned off of the TL bot laner.
Yeah, definitely squeezing tight here. It's going to mean Cloud9 can again just return to the Baron, start it up. Vision has been replanted by Team Liquid though, and the only sweeper C9 have is in the hands of Vulcan. Will he get both of the wards? He's walking over now, and Team Liquid have a chance if Santorin just runs for it. Hail Mary! Vision inside!
Has flash, they have vision, and they can't zone him out just yet. Huge damage, Vulcan forced to stopwatch. Onto the front line, Alfara gets his own out, and it's Jensen finding a single kill. Isn't enough for the Jinx reset. It's the Sterek shield to flash away, and Cloud9 are being chased. Santorin trying to chase down, but cannot get it just yet. Still, it is 5v4 on the map, and that means they can turn right to Baron and Team Liquid. Is this the comeback?
Oh my god, they're gonna go for it. 9K and counting. Teleport comes in. Blabber's at 50% HP, no flash available, and Team Liquid will zone them out.
Okay, Baron itself is 1,525 gold. It cuts the lead only by about 1/5. The question now is what else you can get from the Red Bull Baron power play.
And Freak, This is the 5-on-5 team comp juggernaut dream for Team Liquid setup. This Baron buff, it gets them that 1.5k, but it also buys them so much time. Here's a look at how it happened. All right, Alfari, ults goes in. They got the vision on Baron, so C9, they stop damage on Baron. It's just Jensen walking up. He just walks up and straight up stun ults, boom. Sven is dead from that point on. Cloud9 have to retreat. Blabber tries to ult to gain space, but it's not enough as Santorin flashes forward and the rest of Team Liquid creates so much space for tactical on Jinx. Once you get excited off that early first kill, you've got to give ground. They give it. The Baron now in the hands of Team Liquid. That's going to put a stop to your push as well.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to split push against this because the Baron and Power Recall also means your split push has no threat because they can instantly get back to base. Team Liquid using this opportunity to make a very big push through mid.
Still feel like I should favor Cloud9, even on map, even with the extra stats that Baron buff gives. I feel like I should favor C9 for it, so I want to see if they can fight for the 5th dragon of the game.
Some key things here. The Guardian Angel is so big for Xin at this point in the game. Having the extra life. Blabber already, we've been complimenting him for playing to the edge of the Leech front line, but you've got the extra life now, plus the stopwatch on Viego for Fudge. So those intangibles for the team fight, those actives are going to be very big, and it's a lot about how you execute on those timing windows of immunity when trying to get that Jinx down. If they can get that flank, or if they can get backline accents to the Syndra, to the Jinx, then Cloud9 can definitely still pull this one apart. Dragon comes up in 45 seconds, though.
And Renekton's waiting in the wings, waiting to find if there is a tower dive available. Gets rid of the ward, gets to walk right back out, but maybe going to be attacked, will be stunned by Fudge. This is a chase down. Is it quite possible? He's going to be fine. Mid lane, oh, okay, watch out, that is damage. They could not get the finished kill onto Perks. That said, he's at half HP, and with mid lane pushed in, it's an easy walk towards this Dragon River.
Yeah, I actually do like that. I was thinking about that for a second with the ultimate, but Tactical not even looking for a kill there. It's Ryze who has a hard time re-sustaining. So if that is, you know, an 80 carry or something, your rewards are not that big, but the big chunk of damage there does have a lasting effect. And you see Perks, he ran over to Gromp to heal off Gromp. Now he's looking for Scuttle Crab to heal off Scuttle Crab. He has to go so far away that you basically earn the objective off of that big chunk.
He gets him barely anything, of course. He's not running the runes for Omnivamp, and he's not running any items that have it either. So the Gromp is missing health heal. It's a little bit, and he's like, otherwise, base HP 5, baby. I'm back up to 60%. All right, mid lane gonna be knocked down. The Baron buff ends, and again, worth noting, TL, you know, a little bit down in gold from what the Baron itself gave. They did not grow the gold lead by any means. However, Team Liquid are on Dragon Soul Point. They're on the way towards a Mountain Soul, and they have gotten later into the game. The Jinx is now on 3.5 items. The Syndra has a Void Staff done. They've certainly got some power spikes online.
Meanwhile, full reset for Team Liquid. 3 dragons now at Soul Point, and it's much more about the actual item completions than the 7k gold difference. If it actually results in something here, I do like actually the Medjai's upgrade there for Perks. He has the earlier Banshees that we were talking about to try and protect against a Syndra stun combination, but can they still set up their side push before attempting, you know, this execution versus Team Liquid? Fudge doing his part on the bottom side, but top lane's already been pushed out by Team Liquid, so it's just the 4-1 for Cloud9, and the very small health bars on this tower. If that's maybe 1-2 autos at this late stage of the game, Ben gets
Snipe, 2. Turret is gone. Tower dive pushes Cordier J right in.
Blabber.
Stopwatch buys 2.5 seconds, but he should still die. No, Flash W backwards. Snipe comes in, they get the kill. Blabber has a Guardian Angel. They're okay to frontline. Centaur and stopwatches. He'll come up first, though.
Flash.
That's a shorter timer, and they get the 2 for nothing. This could be the game right now as Cloud9 want to start the reverse sweep. Mid inhibitor is gone. Bot lane has a wave imminently. Pushing in, not finding the kill. The pillar not going to be enough. They do not get tactically. Flash to safety, but the next turret will fall. Blabber, days may be numbered, but 1,300 health still in, and the passage to regen back up.
Even with the Baron fight going the other way, Cloud9 are not going to let this comeback experience slip through their fingers. Huge rewards with both inhibitors taken again, and Baron number 2, Freak, only a minute away.
It's only a minute away, but we know what happened last time with the gold lead exactly this big. TL found the better side of that fight.
But now you have so much more pressure. With 2 inhibitors down, the timing is just working so heavily against Team Liquid. Here's another look at it, and Blabber goes for this Zinsec play onto Core JJ. He W'd in onto Jensen, I believe, got the positioning for his ultimate. He doesn't attack Core JJ, so no challenge mark, and he's able to ult him into the rest of the team. That Guardian Angel we speak of, so critical in allowing them finish off the jungler for jungler kill, means Blabber just gets right back up, and Cloud9 finish it off. Fudge then, having taken that Trundle's body, gets one of those high-value pillars.
Okay, so here we go. We take stock of the game. Baron's up in 12 seconds. I want to note that Cloud9 are actually pushing in mid and bot by themselves. They're actually getting the gold and XP themselves. If you ignore those lanes, by the way, and you let all the waves push in, it's 1,500 gold and twice that in experience per lane if you ignore all the super waves and you just let them farm that. That is what you stand to lose if you don't play those lanes yourself. Of course, C9 are. They're not really even losing any gold because they're getting the waves themselves also, but just getting the extra map pressure and keeping TL inside their base, plus all the camps they're stealing from this top and bottom jungle.
Definitely more than marginal gains for them.
Yeah.
At 9.5 now for Cloud9, plus the 2 super minion lines moving in. They're still setting up fairly cautiously for these moves as well. You like how Vulcan hovers behind each person, looking to face check, not taking any extra chances. The poke from Sven still landing, still
Good
doing
damage. They get the ult. This is almost a one-shot. Centaur gets the ulti off in time, and Blabber has to ult to stay alive, but they walk into melee range, and the shutdown goes through to Tactical. Cloud9 cannot close a game.
Oh, with the Baron up, with everything at their fingertips. Now Team Liquid are handed a dream scenario. There's no smite on the side of Cloud9. They get to farm those supers, freak.
Yep. What else can you say? As long as Cloud9 can stay in the lane, it's still going to be equal trade. But hold on, is there enough in mid? Because Renekton is in base, but Renekton has TP. Does he find a target? Of course, there are no deep wards. He has to go to his own way with anything. But hey, by the way, Dragon Soul's in 23 seconds. Mountain Soul is a pretty big deal. It's about 3,000 gold worth of stats across the team. That's about what you want to math it as. So check for that. That's about a third of the lead. Right now, it'd be turned around. Bottom river, pretty well controlled, but TP top, they're going for the base. Cloud9 tried one of these in week 9, and the base push lost to TSM. They're trying again to knock down third inhibitor.
No one can stop that Rise. The late game split pushing Rise. No one can stop him, so they have to commit to getting the soul. That means Cloud9 with a 2-for-1 in objective. Starting up on the Baron, they get the topside inhibitor too. Nothing, or at least the inhibitor tower, nothing that Core JJ can do alone, but he's sacrificing his HP to try and lock him in place for Jensen, and they save it with just a sliver on the inhibitor. That would have been all 3 inhibitors.
Yep.
That would be double stack supers, and Perks isn't going to give up on it.
Alrighty, so Baron claimed, Dragon Soul claimed on the other side, and we've got a scrappy game. The FTX gold advantage still sitting at about 10K. It has not moved that much. It's been a pretty long plateau.
This is so close. This end game attempt at the pick, high value target gets chunked out. First Core JJ gets chunked out, but then this is the move. 50% onto Tactical, healing back up off of the minions, and Santorin gets hooked. Jungler for jungler once again as Blabber goes right in on him, but with the flash still available for Santorin, he baits in Blabber. They get the kill against the wall and buy themselves that time to get soul. Now, you still have to finish inside the base. You still are going to have to 5-on-5 Team Liquid at some point, Freak, because they've got the soul, and there's nothing to draw them outside of this base. So Tactical can continue to wave clear, continue to farm these minions inside the base. They've got the extra combat power of this shield continually renewing from Mountain, just trying to buy time for their inhibitors to come back up. Cloud9, though, trying to play all lanes with this Baron empowered buff. They want to sync them up, so top side here getting pushed at the same time for bottom, and they've got the extra supers inside threatening that Nexus turret.
Mountain Soul Shield regens after 5 seconds of not taking damage. It's pretty reliable against poke. You can often get away between the various Qs and get it back up. Inhibitors are down, Baron buff still on for 1:20. This has to be the way Cloud9 ends the game, otherwise They're just giving away their advantages because they are done buying items on several members of this team. They are out of item slots. The Gouldie's going to fall off from here. Blabber, not quite stunned. Ulti's going to land on a Santorin, chunks him to half HP as well. And here comes Alfari, wants the front line. Blabber gets his ulti. Yafi is immune to Jinx, and it's going to be a flash away for the Renekton. Can they chase in for the rest? Viega will get the Sterix shield popped, and they can wait that one out. Alfari down to 400 health. The flash in, nearly gets tactical. Shield bow popped now as well, and this turret is one hit from dead. Jinx Rocket puts Blabber down below 1k health as well, but they get another hook, and they get a shut down in a core JJ. 5v4 to the flash in for Blabber, has a Guardian Angel. They've got a turret kill as well, and it's time to get the kills. Cloud9 with signs of life begin the reverse sweep.
He who wins the early game is gonna win the game, Freak. Team Liquid go back to a 5-on-5 setup. They think with a 2-0 advantage over Cloud9, they can go for a more relaxed strategy. One of the tried and true Team Liquid successes, but the 5-on-5 can now withstand early game. Cloud9 make some big plays there, especially that top lane fight, where they kite out, Blabber goes back in on the Xin, Giant Gore Drinker buys enough time, they get multiple kills and the Baron, and we're able to delay the Soul for extremely long off of that play. That play got them back in this series.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Good job cross-mapping it by Cloud9. The inhibitor deaths made it so hard for TL to keep up with all the objectives. Well done to Cloud9. Now on the other side, the State Farm Analyst Desk is diving into draft and getting us ready for the next installment of this back and forth banger. We'll see you there.
Initializing legendary moments.
Take a look while you can, because if you blink, you'll miss it.
I'm sure you've heard the news.
Gold, gold, and more gold.
Here comes the big play.
Oh, that's
Perfect timing. You can see this one coming.
They get what they need. They got the mid. They got the support. They got the top.
Are they gonna give you some fun League of Legends? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Welcome to the LCS.
FTX, official cryptocurrency exchange partner of the LCS.
Sequence complete.
Oh, not yet. Oh, not yet. Oh, not yet. Oh, not yet. Tell me what you wanna hear. Tell me what you wanna do.
Welcome back to the LCS and the State Farm Analyst Desk, where we have officially got ourselves a series. It's Cloud9 striking back in Game 3 to push us to 2-1 as a series score. And they do it by leaving up Thresh.
They did it.
What did I say?
It happened.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Leave up Thresh.
All right,
Yeah,
but
it happened.
All
right, but it
Somebody
did not,
said it. Who
did
said
not
it?
go according. I said it.
Oh, you said it?
I said it.
You said it.
But it didn't really go according to what you said.
Oh! Okay,
That's a lie.
Break it down
The
for me.
dirty liar.
All right,
Break it down for
so
me.
by leaving up the Thresh, I thought TL was doing something kind of smart where they leave up the Xin as well, and I think they're going to be trading power picks on red side, which is one of the things you can do. They take the Xin, and I'm thinking, all right, TL's grabbing Thresh right here, maybe the Syndra, maybe the Viego as well. They do neither, and they take a really early Trundle, which, yes, is a flex pick, but you don't know what you're playing it into yet. You have no idea if it's actually good compositionally. Then they just keep letting C9 take power picks. Thresh Varus, they could have gone Thresh Aphelios. Then they also get the Viego. I felt like this was a situation where, like, TL got too smart for their own good.
Well, hold on now. I know Emily really loved the Trundle, so I want to make sure
I
that she
actually
gets
did love
in
the
here.
Trundle. I didn't love the order.
Ah.
I like Trundle into Xin Zhao. I actually like Trundle as a flex, sometimes even into support. I know we've talked about solo lane versus jungle. The big thing for this, for me, that I wanted to talk about on the C9 side is that because they do the Xin Zhao trade, and I too was expecting them to just trade off for Thresh, right? Which didn't happen, and they picked Trundle, in my opinion, way too early because that pick, like Mark said, is not under a lot of priority. But Xin Zhao, Blabber, we already know, super comfortable making plays on this champion, his kind of innate tankiness, and then obviously we saw that giant gore drinker heal in the top lane fight that kind of really pushed C9's lead. He's so comfortable on this. We've talked about how C9 have prioritized Blabber's jungle picks. This was exactly the pick they locked in, and then to get the Thresh Varus on top of it. And then additionally, I wanted to point out the Rise because although solo lane Viego is still kind of whatever to me, I like the Rise for perks because he was everywhere and he was making plays very early, and that's so important for C9.
And how it all comes together for me, because whenever you see comps like these with Trundle and Braum, you don't want to chase the enemy team. You want to be incredibly disciplined in how you play around objectives, because if you're playing around Baron, fantastic. They're walking towards you. Then you can slap down Braum Q on towards either the Rise that's walking into you, or more frequently than not, it's the Xin Zhao. Then you could just play it slowly front to back. A lot of the times, comps like these, at least in North America, don't pan out, which is why I like it when they're throwing this strategy in this late in the series, when they have a 2-0 up on Cloud9, and it was ideally panning out until that one mistake that happened around Rift Herald.
I feel like it's one of those things too where the enemy team didn't opt into a front-to-back team fight. So you're like, oh yeah, you know, we have a lot of disengage if they want to dive onto us. We can also fight front-to-back. But they have 1-3-1 setup with the Rise, and you saw, you know, much later in the game, C9 using that global mobility to actually get a lot of advantages. But with how scrappy the early game was, and it actually kind of going a little bit in C9's favor, which they then exploded with their ability to take turrets inside lane.
And so this is the fight that I was talking about where, you know, Jinx walks forward after they already had a huge advantage, chipping Xin Zhao to an incredibly small degree, and then that creates the opportunity to Fudge to just lock on towards her. She has to be pushed out of the fight. They make another error, lose Syndra off that, it snowballs.
Here's the fight
Yeah,
Emily was talking about.
let's see this. Bam, look at all the health he gets back. One thing I really like with Blabber on this champion too, just speaking to like his playstyle and him being so comfortable initiating these things, is even when something doesn't pan out, on Xin Zhao specifically, he just seems to be so comfortable going back in and reinitiating something. And I think this should not be a pick that's let through just generally because it's such a high priority jungle pick. But especially for Blabber and especially with how C9 want to play, I wouldn't take that trade and draft again if I was TL.
Getting a quick look at the Cloud9 squad huddling up and getting ready for game number 4 of the series. You can see there only that one small dip once Cloud9 was in control, but never really in danger of letting this one slip away.
I feel like this speaks a little bit to the strength of the teams right now in this series. We're talking about this weird draft from TL and how much we like it or don't like it, but for C9, it was not a clean closeout, despite how dominant they were, and they should have been able to close this one cleanly with their draft. And so I think it does speak to the fact that right now, like, I'm still leaning towards TL, even with this win for C9, just because it was such a struggle to actually win the game.
Well, and this is where I return to a point you were making before the series even started, which is about how you have to develop or how you ultimately evolve throughout a series. And for a lot of teams, right, you're going to come in, maybe you try something a little wonky early, and hey, if you take the loss, then you revert to what you've known. Well, good news for Team Liquid is they put 2 wins on the board before they were finally handed a loss on maybe something that we wouldn't have quantified as, you know, a quintessentially Team Liquid. So I guess the question becomes, if you are on the Team Liquid side for the first time with side choice here, and electing to choose red, where do you go? Where do you go from here? You just throw the Trundle back out the window and move back to what was known?
I think it's gone, yes. And I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that Trundle would have been great the way they drafted it if they got the hand a hold of the Thresh, because Trundle-Thresh combination is fantastic. Of course, C9's a smart team. They ain't going to let that happen. So I do think that they end up benching it. I go for something that is easier to execute around, just like, hey, if we want to chase them down, then we can nail down a Leona, on Nautilus there for Court JJ.
I do think it's interesting, though, Emily, that taking the loss on red side, Team Liquid chooses to stay there. So there's some kind of, you know, mental gymnastics, or there's something at play here where they think we either have figured out the answer to what C9 just showed us and we want them to play it again, and now we'll beat it, or we have a strategy to kind of ban out maybe that factor like the Xin Zhao that played such a big role.
Well, if you think about how we've even been talking about this draft, like, yes, I would still remove the Xin Zhao because I think that Blabber's just so comfortable on it. But we've highlighted the Thresh, right? And we kind of all agree that with the way
we
TL
do all agree
has been
that
playing,
Thresh is
with,
most important pick.
Okay, all right.
This is pretty damn good.
You know what?
Pick.
Yeah.
I don't know who thought of that.
We all agree on that?
Good
point. Whoever made it was a damn good point.
Someone out there, but I that item.
The pressure to me is still on C9 here.
Yeah.
Because I think TL overall has still been performing a lot better and a lot cleaner, and they seem to have a much better synergy between the team.
Yeah, 2 sub-30-minute snowballs versus the 40-minute back and forth with some stumbles. I'm still leaning towards this team, especially like we said, that you can just change your draft so easily while staying on the same side.
While I would want to say that Team Liquid will stick the landing, it's the 0-2 comfort zone. I'm watching
flip-flop with us, Raz.
It was the 0-2 comfort zone, and they went back.
Flip-flop with us.
And then in Academy, there was the reverse
You're on the TL train now,
Cloud9
right?
Academy.
Yeah.
It's happening for Cloud9.
Raz, I will just say it worries me when we have giant numbers in your direct eye line that say 1-2 and you're over here citing 0-2.
Raz is going down with the ship at least.
They were
I
activated.
appreciate that, though. Yeah, I appreciate
They
that.
were
abandoned
activated.
Yeah.
Look, we've got a series, and we'll see if Cloud9 can tie it up here in game number 4 right after this commercial break.